Located 76 miles south of Albuquerque, the city of Socorro has a wide range of hotels, restaurants, and gas stations. Socorro is an ideal starting point for the most productive birding sites along the Rio Grande between Socorro and Las Cruces to the south. At just over 57,000 acres, Bosque del Apache National Wildlife Refuge encompasses an assortment of habitats, from seasonal wetlands to Chihuahuan desert. The refuge is world-renowned for the tens of thousands of snow geese, large numbers of sandhill cranes, and a wide variety of waterfowl that winter on the refuge. Bosque del Apache is the Spanish translation for Woods of the Apache. The Visitor Center is a great place to begin your visit and get information. Before heading out onto the refuge, it is worth visiting the Desert Arboretum located behind the Visitor Center. The garden is a great introduction to the native plants of the Chihuahuan Desert. Several bird feeders attract a good number of desert-dwelling birds, including numerous red-winged blackbirds and the handsome-looking Gambel's quail. Both sexes of the quail have a prominent teardrop-shaped plume on the top of their heads. They are common in desert scrub and thickets, usually near water, in the southwestern United States and northwestern Mexico. The refuge hosts so many snow geese that drivers must be content with them having the right-of-way. The snow goose breeds on the Arctic tundra and is one of the most abundant birds in North America. Upwards to 50,000 birds may spend the winter at Bosque del Apache. Similar to the snow goose, the slightly smaller Ross's goose lacks the black grin patch. Its stubby bill is a deep pinkish red with a purplish blue-gray base. While both the Ross's goose and snow goose can be found in the same flock, the snow goose is much more abundant. Large noisy flocks of almost prehistoric-looking sandhill cranes arrive at the refuge in late October and depart for their northern breeding grounds in mid-February. These large birds stand at 4 feet tall and have a wingspan of 6 feet. Large flocks congregate in open fields to feed during the day. They return to the refuge to roost in shallow water at night for safety from predators. A good number of rarities have occurred on the refuge during winter, including this golden-crowned sparrow, red phalarope, white-tailed kite, located 5 miles from Truth or Consequences, Elephant Butte Lake is New Mexico's largest man-made reservoir. The lake is a popular area for fishing, camping, boating, and of course, birding. While this is a typical view of the lake during winter, a few days later, a rare winter storm blanketed the area in snow and ice. This amount of snow typically only happens once every several years in southern New Mexico. Despite measuring 2 feet from its beak to the tip of its long tail, the greater roadrunner can be hard to find. It is a year-round resident at Elephant Butte Lake State Park and can often be found in the vicinity of the campgrounds. This long-legged bird prefers to run than fly and can attain speeds up over 20 miles per hour. Unlike the cartoon character's fictional beep-beep call, the greater roadrunner has a soft cooing song as well as this bill-snapping call, which can serve as a contact call to locate each other and may also serve as a warning to potential intruders. Mountain bluebirds breed in open rangelands and meadows, generally above 5,000 feet in the mountains of western North America. Flocks of 30 or more birds may be found along the shores of the lake during some winters, but may be absent during others. The unmistakable male is sky blue, a bit darker on the wings and tail, with white under the tail. The female is mostly gray-brown with tinges of blue in the wings and tail. Up to several hundred American white pelicans winter at Elephant Butte Lake. Many of the birds depart for the summer to breed in the northern Great Plains. The western grebe is perhaps the most numerous wintering bird on the lake, with up to several thousand individuals. The similar Clark's grebe is also fairly common in winter and has an orange bill, not greenish like the western, and less black around the eye. The common loon is a rare winter visitor and may not be present during some winters. The slightly smaller Pacific loon is a very rare winter visitor to the lake, with only a handful of confirmed records. The best area to see the greatest variety of birds in winter is below the dam at Paseo del Rio. This 1-mile recreation area has a good riparian area and a couple of former fish hatchery ponds. There is no fee for day use, and a fee for $10 per night is required for overnight camping. One of the sought-after specialties that can be found here is the Mexican duck. This species was only recently split from the mallard in 2020, and although both sexes may look like a female mallard, note the darker body and tail. The male has a yellow bill, and the female has a dull olive to orange bill. This mainly Mexican species has a limited range in the United States, from central Arizona to South Texas. The canyon towhee is a large sparrow with a thick bill and long tail. Towhees often forage in leaf litter by scratching with their feet to overturn the leaves and search for food items such as insects and seeds. Several Mexican rarities have been found at Paseo del Rio, such as this rufous-backed robin. This Mexican species is a very rare winter visitor to the United States. It can be told from the much more numerous American robin by its more extensively streaked throat, uniformly gray head, and its distinct namesake, rufous back. At the same time the rufous-backed robin was present, New Mexico's first documented Nettings flycatcher was also found. This flycatcher is also typically found in Mexico, and both species stayed in the area for several weeks during the winter of 2023 and 2024. The brown thrasher is typically found in the eastern United States. Although a rare winter visitor to the area, Up to several individuals can be present at various sites along the Rio Grande. More information about Elephant Butte Lake and Paseo del Rio can be found in the description below this video. One of our favorite areas to visit during the winter in southern New Mexico is Percha Dam State Park. Although this park may be small in size, it has an amazing bird list of 327 species. The most productive area to look for birds is the riparian area below the small dam. The crystal thrasher is a year-round resident. This somewhat secretive thrasher is most often found when the male birds sing from tops of bushes during the breeding season in late winter and early spring. It can easily be mistaken for a curve-bill thrasher, but has a longer bill, black and white mustache, plain unspotted belly, and a distinct chestnut patch under the tail. The brilliant blue and rust-colored western bluebird is a regular winter visitor to Percha Dam. The female is a duller brownish gray with a pale orange wash on the breast and flanks. With its jet black plumage, shaggy crest, and red eye, the male Phenopepla is a conspicuous desert dweller that favors mistletoe-laden trees along riparian areas. You can find this distinctive bird perched high in the trees throughout the year at Percha Dam. A slightly duller female has a grayish plumage with brown eyes and whitish edging on the wing feathers. Some rarities that have been found at Percha during winter include this Carolina wren, which is normally found in the eastern United States, this great kiskadee, which is typically found in South Texas and Mexico, this eastern towhee, which is normally found in the eastern United States, and this male Lawrence's goldfinch, which is typically found in California. Located next to Percha Dam State Park, the Caballo Lake State Park is framed against the majestic Caballo Mountains at an elevation of 4,447 feet. Many migratory birds use the lake as a wintering ground or as a rest stop during spring and fall. One of the most productive birding sites is the Riverside Recreation Area below Caballo Dam, which has a bird list of 275 species. The rather plump, square-tailed white-winged dove has a relatively long, thin bill, small head, and a distinct white-wing patch. It is a common year-round resident in the campgrounds at Caballo Lake. The white-winged dove appears to be slowly expanding its range northward into the Great Plains. The small black and white ladder-backed woodpecker is a year-round resident. Only the male has a red crown that extends from the eye to the back of its head. Once known as the cactus woodpecker, the ladder-backed woodpecker is the most vocal between late January and March, when pairs establish their bonds and defend territories. The male does most of the work in excavating nest cavities. This individual is creating a nest cavity in a large cottonwood tree. The prairie warbler is a very rare visitor to New Mexico. This individual was found in winter at Riverside Recreation Area below the dam. It typically winters in Florida and the Caribbean, so this bird was way out of range. An in-depth video of Percha Dam and Caballo Lake State Parks can be found in the link below this video. Leasburg Dam State Park is located just a short 25-minute drive from New Mexico's second largest city, Las Cruces. Situated at an elevation of 3,962 feet, the park offers peace and relaxation. Several hiking trails, fishing, stargazing, camping, and of course, excellent opportunities for viewing birds. A total of 250 different species have been sighted within the park boundaries. The park is open daily from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Camping is available for visitors that want to stay overnight. Often referred to as the desert cardinal, the Paraloxia inhabits arid areas of the southwestern United States and Mexico. Although similar looking to the more widespread northern cardinal, which has a red bill, the Paraloxia has a yellow bill and a long crest. Due to the lack of berries in the area, the tiny verdin is also a year-round resident. The adult has a dull gray plumage with a yellow head and a small chestnut shoulder patch that may not always be visible. The verdin's pale plumage often blends well with its arid, pale surroundings. A useful clue to its presence is its rapid chip notes, which are most often heard during the cooler early morning hours. The somewhat drab and finely streaked brewer sparrow can be found at Leasburg Dam from September through May. During the summer months, the brewer sparrow breeds in the vast sagebrush flats across western North America. The much easier bird to identify is the black phoebe, with its sooty black plumage and distinct crisp white belly. This flycatcher can often be found year-round, perched on low perches along the river below the dam, scanning for flying insects. Several rarities have been found in winter at Leasburg, including this rusty blackbird. This rare visitor to New Mexico breeds in the northern spruce bogs of Alaska and Canada and winters in the swampy woodlands of eastern United States. We hope that you enjoyed this video. If so, please click the like button and be sure to subscribe so that you do not miss our next Adven Nature.